Good afternoon, everyone. It is Saturday, October 28th, and our first big Arctic blast we're already talking about for late October into early November. 20 to 35 below average is possible across most of the area, central to eastern parts of the United States, actually central, southern to eastern parts of the United States, as we have cross polar flow that's dumping all this Arctic air into the pattern. We have very heavy snow that's ongoing in parts of Colorado. That's going to really ramp up tonight in through tomorrow. And then we possibly will get a glaze of ice, some ice accumulations all the way down into parts of northwestern parts of Texas, Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma Panhandle, down to southwestern parts of Kansas as well, and we'll go over the snow accumulations and see how cold it gets across the area. But first, like I said, hit that thumbs up button, like this video, comment where you're from. We'd love to hear from you. And hit that subscribe button. It is free to get short-term content on YouTube. If you want to support us, there's members only on there. There's a lot of great content we put over there, a lot of long-range content. You get first dibs on seasonal content like the winter forecast, any 14 to 21 day outlooks, stuff like that. So just there's multiple ways to support us on there, or you can go over to Facebook and support us, and you get the same content over there as well. So thank you so much for watching here. So let's get right into it. Alrighty, as usual, we start out with the national hazards map here. We do have a flood watch down here towards Dallas. They've had a lot of flooding down there last few days. Flood watch down through here and up towards southeastern parts of Oklahoma. Now, I do believe this map is really going to start filling in with freeze watches, warnings, frost advisories as we get in through later this weekend into early next week. As I think anywhere north of I-20 across the area here, just along and north of I-20, I think you have a good chance of some freezing temperatures at night coming in, especially towards midweek. Okay, so as we go over here towards the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles, winter weather advisories are out all the way from basically Amarillo, Texas, just north all the way through western parts of Kansas and through central Nebraska here, far northwestern parts of Iowa, and then as you get into Colorado, in and around the Denver area, they're under winter storm warning. 8 to 14 inches is possible. Very heavy snow possible tonight and up into the mountains. 2+ feet of snow is possible before all this is said and done. Above right around 8 to 9,000 feet, above 8 to 9,000 feet in Colorado. 2+ feet of snow is possible out there. Very healthy, decent snow storm out there for October to get going on the winter season here. So let's get right into the 500 millibar pattern here, and just pretty much gives you what is happening, a snapshot of what is happening across the northern parts of the or northern hemisphere here, and what's causing the drivers, basically the drivers of this big Arctic plunge that's coming in for late October to into early November here. Every time, like this very warm colors right here, that means there's a high pressure. If you get a high pressure up into Canada, or I'm sorry, up into Alaska, that is, and Western Canada, look out because the Arctic air is about to dump into the United States. So whenever you see something like this, that's when the Arctic air is about to dump into the United States. We're going to have cross polar flow too. You can see all these isobars that are coming through the poles here, straight across, basically from Russia all the way across the North Pole, and just dumping in through central Canada. And that's just going to keep feeding the Arctic air into the pattern over the next week or so, even with, like I said, very heavy snow across parts of the Rockies and even some glazes of ice opportunities down here in parts of Texas into Kansas and Nebraska as well. And snow will be ramping up towards the Great Lakes as soon as we get this pretty uh, cold Arctic air across the Great Lakes. There's going to be lake effect snow that's going to start happening up in that part of the world. Okay, so let's take a look at snow accumulations and what I think is going to happen through Monday morning. All right, there's a lot going on this map right here, so I'm going to kind of break it down for you. So basically, from out here towards southern Wisconsin, down through northwestern parts of Illinois, down through most of Iowa, into far northwestern parts of Missouri, through central Kansas, over towards North Platte, Nebraska. Basically, that corridor there, maybe a dusting up to a half an inch or so of snow. This is through Monday. And then as you get towards the Rockies here, towards the blue here, I think you're going to get the darker blues here, 3 to 6 inches. But like I said, a dusting for most of the plains here. But as you get towards like North Platte, Nebraska, far northwestern parts of Kansas, that's where the dusting will start ramping up to 1, 2 to 3, right around 3 inches as we get towards this darker blue. Okay, and then as we get to the darker blue, most of the front range of Colorado, east of the plains here, northeastern Colorado, southwestern parts of Nebraska, I think 3 to 6 inches is possible. And then as you get towards the Denver area, uh, Palmer Divide, over into the foothills, 8 to 14 inches is possible, especially basically above 5,000 feet and below 9,000 feet. 8 to 14 inches is possible. You get above 9,000 feet here into the higher terrain of the Rockies, Colorado Rockies here. I think 2 feet plus is possible across this area. Now, once you get down here towards New Mexico, there's a lot of mountains and valleys, and then more mountains, especially Albuquerque. I mean, they're basically surrounded by higher elevations, and they're kind of like in a bowl here. So they may get a few flakes of snow, but I don't expect much accumulation. Albuquerque may be up to a dusting, maybe around the Albuquerque area. But as you get outside of town, you may get up to half an inch to an inch in those higher terrains. And then as you go north on I-25 towards the Colorado border, as you get to a little bit higher elevations, maybe up to 3 inches there. Now, rain is going to be mixing to ice to possibly ice, sleet, snow mix as we go in through tomorrow morning. This is going to start changing over late tonight. This is late Saturday night, which is the 28th, through early through tomorrow. So basically, it's going to be rain transitioning to ice, and I think a glaze of ice is possible in this pink area, with up to a dusting of sleet and snow is possible. Now, as this big Arctic front starts plowing through the area, as we get into the Ozarks, okay, I think late Sunday night, probably right around midnight or after, and then into early Monday morning, I think rain may change over to a rain mix, kind of maybe some sleet pellets, maybe a few snowflakes here and there. I don't expect any accumulations, but I would not be shocked, especially in the higher terrain. The Ozarks here above 1,500 feet. We're talking maybe around the Fayetteville area, maybe just southwest of Harrison, up through the higher terrain of the Boston Mountains here, and then the southwestern Missouri. Like I said, anywhere above 1,500 feet, I think you may, especially early in the morning before sunrise, you may see a few sleet pellets or a snowflake mixed in with the rain. As these showers and come to an end, and then the real cold Arctic air starts setting into the area. So, how cold is it going to get over the next few days? Let's look into that right now. All right, let's go into temperature anomalies. The darker colors, these purples and stuff, that's below average. The greens are below average, and as you get to these warmer colors, that's above average, of course. So as you can see down here, it's minus 37 and a half below normal across parts of Texas here. This is late tomorrow afternoon. Here's a time step up here. It's the central time. And as we go forward, that's really settles in the Texas. Then the dam breaks over parts of the Ozarks and this cold air starts spreading east as we get into Tuesday. 15, 20 to 30 below average is possible. across the Ozarks, in through parts of Oklahoma and Texas. And then the next cold wave, it kind of lightens up a little bit, but then the next cold wave comes in for Halloween afternoon. It really dives into the area as we get in through Wednesday morning. Look at this. We got, like I said, 30 to 35 below average across Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri, into Arkansas. Fronts finally making it down towards the southeast, anywhere between 5 to 10 below normal down here. Then as we head towards Wednesday, this is Thursday morning. See the cold air is really overtaking the area, and this is going to last into till next weekend, and then it's going to try to warm up a little bit. But then here comes the next cold shot that's really building up steam in Canada, and going to start rolling down the plains here. It's going into the long term. All right, these are lows for when you wake up Sunday, basically. So already below freezing across the panhandles of Texas into parts of Oklahoma, most of Kansas, right around upper teens, around 20 in Denver. And then as you get towards Wyoming, it's almost zero. These are not wind chills, of course. And then as we get out through the day, Sunday, then we get to Monday morning. Cold air's really diving into Texas. Cold kind of hangs up in the Ozarks as usual, but the dam will break eventually, and then all this cold air will start flooding east as we go forward. So here's Monday afternoon highs, basically. This is right around 4 o'clock. So these basically we're going to be highs for the day. And you can see where that cold front is at. Um, Down through the deep south here. 40s on the other side of the front and mid to upper 80s across the southeast ahead of it. So big time changes are coming. Then as we head, this is Tuesday morning, Halloween morning at 7 o'clock. Look at some of these temperatures. Upper teens across parts of Texas in through Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas, southwest Missouri. Freezing conditions all the way down to Little Rock, right around upper 20s to around 30. Freezing conditions around Dallas, and then getting to the mid 30s around in through Louisiana, parts of Mississippi, through parts of Tennessee as well. And then as we head towards Wednesday afternoon, these are highs for Wednesday afternoon. Upper 40s around 50 in Atlanta. 40s basically area wide. It starts to warm up a little bit out here in the plains, but the next cold wave is coming as we go in through that. So here's Wednesday morning at 7 a.m. Look at these teens, 20s, below freezing all the way down through the I-20 corridor here. Most of northern Mississippi, northern Alabama, up towards northern Georgia, all of Tennessee, Kentucky, and north of there will be freezing. Alrighty, so here is Wednesday afternoon highs, 40s, 60s out here towards Kansas. And as we head towards Thursday morning, look at this 20, possibly 20 around Little Rock, around 20 or so around Monroe, Louisiana. This is one of the colder of the models, but this has been rock solid. It does very well with Arctic air, true Arctic air that's getting into the pattern here. So 20s could be possible. Hard freeze could be possible. Like I said, I-20 and north, all the way through possibly Atlanta, all the way up north of there. Hard freeze is likely. So the growing season is going to be over after we get through midweek here across most of the area. Then after that, it really does not warm up until probably next weekend. It may get up to average before we get another cold out break, and I'm going to go into the long term on that. In the members only on YouTube, like I said, you can join our members only. There's different ways to support us. You can just push the join button on YouTube and pick whatever option you'd like. And like I said, that'll get you long term content, a lot of good information over there. Also on Facebook. We have subscribers on there. They call them subscribers over there, but it's basically you get long-term content and beyond. It's $4.99 a month over on Facebook. All right, so protect your pipes. Make sure you get those faucet covers put on the next few days because hard freezes is coming and it's going to be brutal. It's going to go from some areas are going to go from mid to upper 80s to the 40s for highs this next week with possible hard freezes. Some areas have not even got a frost yet, and we're going to go from straight from warm weather to a hard freeze, and the growing season will be over across the area. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to hit that thumbs up button, that like. Make sure you subscribe. It is free for long or short term content on YouTube.